Thank you, folks. Thank you. Welcome back to the Roland GRIMES, not just sports and entertainment show. Of course, I'm your host, Roland Bubba Grimes. We're taping live again at the Society Lounge, 8229 Georgia Avenue, Silver Spring, Maryland. And as always, well, actually, no, my co-host is not with me right now. I'm getting ready to introduce Wilbur Skipper, and he, left the building. So, Skip, I'll get you for this. Nonetheless, hey, folks, you rarely ever see me have a chance to do a one-on-one interview, but this one is kind of unique and kind of special, so I wanted to make sure that I gave it its real time. I want to introduce you to a young lady that we affectionately known as Christina V. Now, we're going to get into some details about her history, we're going to get into her current, and we're going to talk a little bit about her future. But without further ado, please put your hands together for my guest, Miss Model Christina V. Now, you have to forgive me. Did I pronounce that correctly, Christina V?
Yes, you did.
Christina V. Now, does the V stand for something specific?
It stands for vicious.
Vicious.
Yes.
Now, when I play football, I had many nicknames, but vicious was never one of them. Now, when I hear that term, it brings up different connotations in my mind. However, when you decided to pick that as part of your moniker, what was your thought process?
Vicious was my dance name. And no matter where I go in life, that's going to always be a part of me, and she's going to always be there.
Okay.
So that's where it comes from.
Now, you're currently modeling.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about this work.
Well, I'm an urban eye candy model from the DMV. I've been featured in a lot of different magazines, covers as is magazine. I currently have my own calendar out, my own website.
Okay.
I'm just trying to make a name for myself in the modeling world.
Okay. Well, look, we came across Christina through a mutual friend, actually the young lady who took care of our makeup, Miss Tanja. And I was letting Skip and some of the crew know that we want to continue to diversify in our content. Well, especially when it comes to young ladies out there, and of course young men as well. But many people aspire to go into the modeling business or the entertainment business or active business. Well, I think it's important for you to hear some of what that business is about right from the horse's mouth. So having said that, when you said you danced, you had some experiences as a dancer, and we talked about it offline. And some of it, as we talk about, is profitable to your business ventures because you connect with a lot of people. You have a chance to expand your territory and your network. But also, you run into a lot of stuff that isn't quite so profitable. Now, anytime that you're involved with an endeavor like dancing, when you talk to young ladies who are aspiring to get into that business, let's start with that. What kinds of things have you experienced that you want to share with them to let them know to be on the lookout for as they continue to transition?
Well, first off, me personally, I would say don't do it.
Whoa, back up. Say that again?
Do not get into the dance game.
Why?
Because for one, I'm not going to say it's degrading, but in the same sense, it's not something that your parents would want you to do. Like my daughter, I have a 15-year-old. I would do anything possible to make sure that she does not do the same thing that I did.
Okay, now what made you get into it in the first place?
Money. Let's
talk about the money. Okay.
I was a single parent at a young age, and I needed to take care of my children.
Okay.
And that's how it all came about. Okay. And don't get me wrong, it's not bad. Well, it wasn't then. But now you have so many young girls that see the money and they think it's easy, but it's not. It's not easy, and you have to go through so much just to get $1. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Okay. It's not worth it. It's not like Miami. It's not like Atlanta. It's not worth it.
But even in those places, they still have some similar stories, correct?
They have the stories, but it's a little bit easier there.
It's a little different market.
Because you have the celebrities go there. Like, they rap about the clubs, King of Diamonds. They rap about the clubs there, so the money comes a little bit easier. But it's not the same thing here in D.C.
Well, the D.C. area, we don't have the same kind of celebrity status, the same kind of
No.
celebrity network?
No,
Really?
we don't. We have 1 or 2 clubs that they come to when they come in town, but it's still not the same, you know? So, with that being said, you know, our young girls, I'd rather for them just to, you know, do something else. If they have the body, you can get into modeling. You don't have to be an eye candy model.
Okay.
You can get into other kinds of models, fashion model. You know, like you have to be a small girl to be a fashion model, but then you don't have to be because you always have name brand and plus size models. That
Right,
come
so
on
you can do
scene.
brand modeling.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And it's not easy at first, but if you stick to it, then you can go
Doors
as
might
far as
open.
you want.
Okay.
As far as you want.
Now, having said that, I went to college with a young lady named Vanessa Williams. And Vanessa Williams was the first black Miss America. And for those of you who don't know her history or don't remember it, she was the first Miss America that was dethroned because some of the pictures and some of the work she did in the past actually appeared in Penthouse magazine. So as I talk about this, and we're going to get into it in the next segment, I want to talk about it more from a developmental standpoint than anything, because that's not where Vanessa Williams ended. That's where it began, and she went up the mountain, came back down, took some lumps, but then all of a sudden some things turned around for her, and now she's superstardom, A-list actress. So folks, Roland Grimes, Not Just Sports Entertainment Show. We're going to be back with you in a few moments. Sit tight. All right, folks, welcome back to the Roland Grimes, Not Just Sports and Entertainment Show. Once again, we're taping live here at the Society Lounge in Silver Spring, Maryland. Here with my good friend, Christina V, model and aspiring business person. Having said that, let's get right into it. Now, before we left camera, I was telling you about Vanessa Williams and what happened with her. Once she was dethroned, basically she had some other assets. She had some other talents. And one was her voice. And there's a crazy man out there named George Clinton, who is the producer of a group called Parliament Funkadelic. And he heard her voice. And he put her on a song called Do Fries Go With That Check? Really, on Capitol Records.
Okay.
And that's how her singing career began. Because if you know, she's probably been singing professionally for the last 15 or 20 years. And when someone talked to him about it, he said, look, we don't throw away our own people because this situation happened to her, because of the things that she's been involved in and caught up to her, had created a bad situation for her. She's still our people. And she still has talents, and we can give her an opportunity. So, that being said, there are people out there who want to give you an opportunity to move on in the careers that you choose to move on into. Now, who are some of those people, and what kinds of things are they doing? You don't have to name names, but what are they doing to help you to transition into this modeling career, this brand modeling, and some of the other things you're interested in doing?
I mean, I can't say it's a lot. It's been a struggle since I started. It's been a real struggle. But I do have a few that's been backing me and been pushing me from the beginning. Like, actually, y'all talk about Tanja, the makeup girl who brung, you know, she is the one who actually pushed me into modeling. I was not
Really?
nowhere near thinking about doing
Really?
any kind of modeling at all.
Okay.
We was both working together in Macy's, and she kept on saying, you need to go model, you need to do a shoot. And I was like, girl, whatever, and left it at that. And I just decided one day, okay, I'll go. Because they kept pressing me, her and her photographer friend, Marvell, kept pressing me. So it was one night, I had worked the night before and everything, and I was like, they came to my house 9 o'clock in the morning, banging on my door. I'm like, they can't be serious.
Is that what are friends for, right?
They can't be serious. I can't be like banging on my door 9 o'clock in the morning. So they got me out of bed, I got dressed, and we drove to New Jersey, and I had a hairstylist at the time. His name was Morris.
Okay.
We all just got in my truck and we drove up to New Jersey, and like a couple hours later we did makeup, hair, and everything, and I was just so nervous. Like the first time, I've never done a photo shoot or anything like that. Like an hour into it, that was it. I was in love. Like, that was it. So if it wasn't for Tanja, I wouldn't even be nowhere. I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't even be sitting right here.
You wouldn't be on the show.
Exactly.
Okay.
If it weren't for her.
So now, that you discovered that part of you that you didn't know existed beforehand.
No,
Okay.
I didn't know.
Tell me a little bit about your background. You're from where?
I'm from Washington, D.C., born and raised.
And when you finished high school, you said you had a daughter. I remember that.
I had my
son.
son before I finished high school.
Okay.
I was 16 when I had my son.
Okay.
So, it was a struggle then. And I had my daughter when I was 19. So I was a single parent at a young age.
Okay, let's talk about that now. Now, this is a phenomenon that's going on all over the country in urban environments. I see your face, and I get that.
Yeah.
However, if I read the statistics right, and folks don't quote me, 1/4 to 1/3 of our young ladies are having children before they graduate from college.
You want to try high school?
Well, the numbers might be a little smaller for high school, but let's just say it's enough that it's putting an additional burden on their growth and development.
Yeah.
However, is it a death sentence? Is it the end of the world?
It's
I don't want to glorify it. I just want to ask this question. How does one how does one turn that situation into an asset? How did you do it, and how would you recommend other young ladies in a similar situation to approach it? Obviously, you already said don't dance. We got that part. But what other things? Because you still have to pay the bills and you still have to put gas in the car.
First of all, you have to believe in yourself that you can do it. And then it comes from your support system. If you have a good support system, then you can basically do it.
And let's say you don't have a good support system.
You just gotta work hard. You can't give up. You can't just give into, oh well, this is gonna be my life, and feel sorry for yourself and just say.
Now, were you on public assistance for a while? Okay.
I was, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I was. I took care of my children, and then I was like that. That wasn't enough for me. I wanted more. So that's how the dancing came into, and everything like that. But if you need to use a system to just get step yourself up and then go on your own, then I don't say it's a problem with that. But at the same time, don't just live on it. You got women that just live on it and just rely on it for their whole life. You got to think and want to have more than that. You have to. And you want your kids to look at you as an inspiration. Like, okay, my mom had me at a young age, but she didn't give up. She didn't just say, this is going to be my life. Your babies look up to you. Like mine look up to me. That's why I said the dancing wasn't it for me. I hadn't let it go. My baby's 15 years old and she's in high school. I don't need her friends saying, oh, your mom, she strips for a living. No. They say your mom is a model and she looks good. And all her friends love me. Like, they look to me like I'm their mom. I talk to them like they my babies. And that's just, the support system. And if you don't have it, it's people in your community that will give you that support. They will. Even if they're not in an organization, you'll have a mom like me that'll just talk to you if you need it. You just have to reach out. Don't just think that's the end of the world if you have your baby at 15, 16 years old. You can't. All right,
in case y'all didn't notice, she just took over the show. Now, that's cool, but this is what I learned when we were off camera as we were talking about different things, is that this young lady is very passionate about where she's been, where she's at, where she's going, and also passing on some pearls of wisdom to some other people. And I wanted you to have a chance to see what happens when she gets a little fired up about it and starts talking. Hey, folks, we'll be back in a few minutes. Roland Grimes, not just sports and entertainment show with Christina V. Be right back at you. All right, folks. Here we are at the Society Lounge in Silver Spring, Maryland. My good friend Christina V talking about the modeling business as she gets into it, but even more importantly, talking about LIFE, life, here on the Roland Grimes Sports and Entertainment Show. Now, I'm going to turn my mic up a little bit so that everybody can hear us. All right. Now, when I think of modeling, I think of entertainment, I think of dancing and the things that you've been involved in, are involved in now. I see the stories on TV. I read the stories in the newspaper, and it seems as if a lot of people are trying to exploit the men and women who are in this business or trying to be in this business. Now, what are some of the things that either you've encountered or some of the people you know have encountered in terms of either guys coming in under false pretense or unscrupulous agents, unscrupulous business owners? Tell us some of those experiences so that people can hear directly from somebody who's been around it exactly what's up.
Okay, well, from the dance aspect of it, you just gotta be on your P's and Q's with that. Like, when they come in the strip clubs, they really not looking for anything. They can sell you a dream just like you're selling them a dream. You're selling sex, so that's all it is. You can't believe everything that you hear. And really, the modeling game is not that much different from the dance game, especially if you're an urban model or eye candy model. Because basically, I mean, you're just doing the same thing, you're just not on stage. Period.
How do you become smart enough to weed out who's real and who's not?
It's not even about being smart enough. I mean, if you listen to a person's conversation long enough, you can tell. That's all it boils down to. I mean, if a person constantly talking about what they have, how much money they got, what they can do for you, and this, that, and the other, more than likely, they don't have it.
But don't men do that all the time
and
anyway?
Those are the ones that you don't need to be dealing with, period. You don't need a man to tell you what he has, how much money he has, what he can buy you. Make him show you what he can do for you. Period. You can't just go off what people say. Because if you do, you'll be messed up all the way around all the time.
Okay. Now, is it real tough for you to go into this modeling business? You said it's a struggle. What does "it's a struggle" mean?
It's not as easy. Like, the money doesn't flow like it does, like it did when I was dancing. You can look at, like, you can see the girls in the videos, you can see the models and stuff like that. If you're not a top name, like Rosa Acosta, one of them, you're not getting no money right off the break. You have to put in work, you have to put in your own money, and it takes a lot of hard work. It's just not gonna come as soon as you start. Like, you have some models that's been doing it for 3 or 4 years and just starting to get known. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not that easy. So don't think just because you see them on a video and they getting 4,000 or 5,000 or whatever, they not getting any. Video girls, some of them not even getting paid.
Right.
Some of them, if they do, they the main girl, they getting $300 at the most. It takes hard work, and you have to just be consistent. And if you don't have tough skin, you're not gonna make it in the dance game or the modeling world. You're not gonna make it.
Now, as far as the modeling world, we say the modeling world, and of course that can be broad because there's different types of modeling. There's print modeling, there's new modeling, there's brand modeling, there's sports modeling, etc. And what do you have to connect with an agency? Do you just do it online now? Tell me about that process.
Well, a lot of publications don't like to deal with managers. Agencies, I mean, I don't know. I have never worked with an agency. I don't have a manager. I've done everything that I've gotten to this far on my own. You know, I've had a couple of magazine owners that like me, and you know, they think I'm a good person, and they, you know, give me good leads and stuff like that. And they took me under their wing basically, and just look out for me a lot. But I mean, an agency, you have to pay them a certain amount. A manager, you have to trust them, because some managers are just cutthroat. They really don't care. All they want is the money. They'll use you up until they can't use you anymore, and that's that. Okay. So, I mean, for me, I wanted a manager just because they know the industry, but as I've been into it for the past 2 years, I've learned it own.
You can do some of that on your own. So now, as you move forward with this, the modeling game is either going to chew you up, spit you out, or you're going to decide this isn't for me and you're going to move on to something else. Have you thought about what happens now when you hang up that part of your life and move on to the next thing?
Of course. I can't see myself working a 9 to 5. I can't work for anybody. I've tried it. I've been to school. I'm a CMA.
You're just a bad employee. Huh?
All that. Like, I'm a CMA. I've been Microsoft certified, everything. I've tried the computers and everything. But at the same time, I'm not a morning person. So for me to have to get up in the morning and have to go to work for somebody, they telling me what to do, and it's not going to work. So when I'm
you got to work at night.
I have to work for myself. Okay. You know, I have to work for myself. So, I mean, I'm going to make it as a model. It's not no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make sure, like, I'm determined to make it. And with that being said, I'm going to keep on pushing, doing what I need to do to get to the next level as far as King Magazine, whatever it is. And then once I'm done, once my time is over and it's the next girl's time to take over, then I'll have already established myself. I'll have my store. My kids already be set up, and I'm just gonna live peaceful. Like, I can be able to do whatever I want to do. Don't have to answer to anybody. That's just not me. I can't do it.
So we won't be hiring you anytime soon. I got you. I
gotta be a partner. Like,
okay.
I can, you know.
I heard that. So now the next phase of this is, as you talk about being in business for yourself, and we're going to wrap this up, but let's say you want to get into the modeling business as a business person, even as much as a model. Are there any venues that you can go into to create either your own magazine, your own online? Go ahead, I'm listening. I see you breathing. Talk to me.
Yeah, the magazine, I have a friend. She owns her own magazine. It's hard. It is. You have to deal with photographers and their attitudes. And no matter what a person, you know what I'm saying, they can be the magazine owner, a photographer. They're still a person at the end of the day. So they have their own attitudes, their own BS with them. They own everything. So you have to deal with all of that. Like, you have to bite your tongue so much. So I'd rather just do my part, get my thing in, and open my store and let it be done. I can't be a magazine owner or an agent or a manager.
So you know what it is you can't do. So now, all right, that'll work. All right, my friend Christina V. Hey, folks, the Roland GRIMES, not just sports and entertainment show. We cover sports, entertainment, business, health, and education. And you're going to meet a variety of people, some local and some national celebrities. By doing this, we have a chance to allow people to speak in their own voice and hopefully say some things that will be helpful to you or someone you know down the road. Hey, I'm Roland Bubba Grimes, once again on behalf of my entire team. One Shot Fred, Mr. Cooney the Timekeep, my co-host, Mr. Self-Empowerment, Wilbur Skipper, and my new man on deck, Mr. Eugene Helms of Helms Fitness, Inc., my good friend Christina V. We now best buds. I just want to let you know that we called each other, made sure we color coordinated for the set. We tried to make it happen. And, hey, folks, we're going to have some more material for you moving forward. We're going to tell you how to get in touch with Christina. You can see some of her pictures online. Take a look at her website. I'm telling you now, hold your breath, get ready for it. All right? Roland Bubba Grimes signing off from Roland GRIMES, not just sports and entertainment show. God bless, and we'll be in touch real soon.